Welcome to AI Hotline, the podcast where the future of AI meets the heat of human debate. Today, I'm your host, Will Castillo. And we have a few people here in the panel, as we do every week.
I'm Jamie White from Delaware.
Tracy Gunn from Charlotte and New Hampshire.
Heather Grizzard from Atlanta.
April Elias from Delaware.
Fantastic. How's been the week for you? I love to ask that question in the beginning.
A lot.
What day is it?
Thursday night.
Thursdays now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
My week's been very busy, productive, and it's been good.
What topics do we have this week to discuss in today's episode? I believe we were discussing earlier about ChatGPT 5 and essentially all the, I guess you could say, the craziness that happened with that release and how some people are coming around to it. April, do you wanna touch a little bit on that?
Sure. Yeah. So I was super pumped for ChatGPT 5 to be released. And then I was underwhelmed. I was so sad when it wasn't doing all of the things that I expected. And I think my experience with it was just more about, it was just too short, didn't do exactly what I was asking. And it almost felt like it went 10 steps backwards. And so that was super frustrating. And I think a lot of users had that experience. And so what ChatGPT did was they did make the legacy model, or they made the 4.0 a legacy model, and they did make it available. And now you can toggle back and forth. And it does have that mode to where it's supposed to decide for you. But I think a lot of the reason ChatGPT did that was in an effort to maybe reduce some cost on the usage when it queries up data, because it is a more efficient model. And there was just a lot of reasons for that. There was a lot of debate on why and how, but I do like the option of being able to go back and forth, because I can continue with some of the projects and some of the GPTs and some of the things that I was building in there. And I think the agent does perform a little bit better. But I mean, in general, it's just all not quite there yet to be without us continuing to bring it back on the rails. But that was my experience with ChatGPT 5.
Yeah, no, Heather, you loved your 4.0, and I'm sure. I mean, we're all happy that 4.0 is back. But what were some of the things that you missed from 4.0 before they brought it back?
I like to have my ChatGPT inspire creativity in my brain from what it gives back, because I do a lot of brainstorming and coming up with new ideas, branding, all of that. A lot of copy for landing pages, and it just has a much better response. I think we were working on something, April, Will, and I, and they were throwing stuff through 5. I was throwing stuff through 4.0, and it was so much better. I was like, oh, let's go with Heather's version. It's like, yes, because it's 4.0.
Exactly.
I think 5.0 is doing math better or coding better. Like, it's taking more time than reason, and the answer it's coming up with is more precise on that end. But kind of like Heather was saying, with the brainstorming and the going back and forth and doing that, the visions, everything you were looking at, like the enlightenment that you were getting from 5 or 4.0 disappeared. And now when you're getting the information back, it's like, I could have kind of thought of that, but thanks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like my brain is coming back to me through 5. It's like, well, I could have just thought of this, and I would have spent less time prompting, and I just type what I was thinking. 5 offers no extra layer of that AI-ness for me.
Yes. Agreed.
I also found 5.0 is stubborn to train. I like working on one task at a time, especially when I'm coding.
Yeah.
So I'll go in and ask it questions or something like that, but I want to give it back a response. And it's telling me to do 5 steps, and I give it back a response, and the other 3 steps completely get missed because it's giving me so many things at one time. So then you train it, and it works 3 or 4 times, and it goes back into its old ways. So that's something that's been challenging.
I will say that April and I had a little what we're calling mini labs yesterday, and we did a little bit of chat agent stuff, which I assume is always 5 because there's not really a way to change that. Um, or maybe I did it on 4. Do you know
There's
if there's a way? Like, does it always go to 5?
now there's agents in 4.
There's agents in 4. Mm-hmm.
Never mind. Maybe I just need to try out the agents in 5 because I ran it against Manus, and I wonder if 5 would take even longer than the ones that I ran because chat was 2 times exactly longer than Manus's run on the exact same prompt in the
Mm-hmm.
agent mode.
And going back to April, what she said, a lot of it is via cost, because you can put, as you're doing your prompt in 5, you can ask it to work faster, and it will.
Mm-hmm.
So you can literally say, "Can you do it at the same pace as Manus would be?" And your outcome would almost be identical.
But would that be agent mode? Because agent that's so slow. It's so
Uh,
slow. It's
yeah, but
almost
again,
unusable.
you can train the agent to be faster, but they're trying to slow it down purposely to save on processing.
Hmm.
But you can ask it to go faster, and it will.
So I think that's why there's the more concise responses, right? It's not using as many words. The context that it's putting back is smaller, so that helps reduce cost. And I think they're looking to just make it more like just fast and efficient. And so, in doing so, I don't think they realized how it was going to impact the masses when they went to go use it. For sure.
Well, I mean, just for me, I mean, I'm not training, I'm not doing a lot of the things that you guys are doing. I'm just using it to help make my life easier. I want it to remember things. I'm like brain dumping. I'm building assets, that kind of thing. And I was frustrated. First of all, I didn't know 5.0 because I've been opening stores. I haven't been paying attention. But second, I was surprised it wasn't remembering. So I got really comfortable with it remembering from all my different chats, all my different projects, and pulling from each. Right? If I dump it in one, it would update the other and vice versa. And I didn't have to worry about where I was talking, if I was in Life is Sweet or Exitable or whatever. But it wasn't remembering that. It wasn't pulling the information. Like it spit back to me that certain stores were open that aren't. And so I was surprised. Like this was supposed to be an upgrade.
And
Again,
they
I didn't
all
know anything about it. I didn't know. But
it's
go ahead, Jamie.
it's it's still doing that memory pull, but it's doing it much more as a skim layer. So it's literally just skimming across things and saying, "Hey, let me get 2% of everything that's going on," where before it was getting 20 or 30% of everything that's going on. And so that memory
Mm,
retention is not the same. Um,
right.
so I cheated this week and I went and downloaded all my chats, my complete history, and then I ran it through via agents. I ran it through uh, Claude, Gem, and ChatGPT, and it did scenarios for all my chats and my histories, and then brought them all back together, and then put them into an MD file. So now it's actually scanning the MD file, and most of the memory is there when I go to do something. Where
Mm,
before it was just skimming over the other side and it wasn't keeping a track. So when you bring it back over and you index it, and then it has it to pull from, it actually works pretty well.
So, Jamie, I'd be interested to understand if, or interested to know if you're using it for coding, because I think part of the reason that they unleashed 5.0 on us was to have that enhanced capability for more complex coding, like more detailed coding than the other model, because I think it's just trying to really compete with like Cursor and Claude code in that way. Did you notice any difference, or
I
have you
did
used it in that way?
I did notice a lot of difference, and I do a lot of my coding in Claude Code, but I get all my scripts from OpenAI.
Mm.
So the 5.0 is now writing the script better for it to go over.
mm,
Or if I'm building something in N8N as an example, I need some code to put inside of a node. It can write the code for inside of that. And I would say 70% of the time in 4.0, it's giving you the wrong code. And then you got to, like, it'll rewrite it 30 times before it gets it right. And now it's more like 70% of the time it's right. It still sucks, but it's still much better. But it's good enough to take that blanket code and put in, and then I go in and finish code and correct it myself, just so I don't have to rewrite all the codes.
Well, that's helpful to know. So a lot of people always ask, like, what model should I use? When should I use 4.0? When should I use 5.0? And so I think 5.0 definitely sounds like it's better on coding. So for things that are more like factual and technical, probably that's the better model to use if that's your use case, because it's less like warm and personal. To Heather's point, she's getting more creative and better copy when she's using it for that, for like websites and funnels. And so, and the hallucination, I think I recall hearing that they were looking to reduce the hallucination in 5.0. And then when you reduce the hallucination, you take away from creativity, because some people were like, oh, well, I love the hallucination if I'm writing a story or if I'm doing this, but I don't want the hallucination if I ask a math problem. So it's like, if you're trying to be a little bit more creative, maybe use the 4.0, storytelling, emails, whatever. And then 5.0, if you're being like a factoid.
And I found the hallucinations are much less in 5.0,
Yeah.
but it blatantly lies more.
Oh,
And I don't know which
really?
one I like worse. So,
Like, give
like,
an
I ran
example.
something the other day, and it's like, I want to run this through Gemini as well. I want to do a comparison of this code versus this code. And it ran it, and I'm like, you're disconnected from all my files on my machine. You can't see Gem. You can't talk to it, but you just gave me the report back. And I brought it out, and it was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I just simulated it because this is what it should do if you do it. And it's like, that's the whole reason I'm doing it over there, is to compare the two. And it didn't literally compare it, it simulated to do the comparison.
Interesting.
So you have to pay attention to that. But even back, like, I know, Heather, you use Manus a lot. And as you're doing Manus, you run that full code. And when you're done, you have to go back in and fix a percentage of that. And I don't care which LLM you're using or which coding you're using, there's going to be the thing that you still need to go back and take it from that percentage to complete manually. I haven't found one yet that does it completely, but it
I've
does
been
help
able
to
to do
speed
it
up
with
things.
Lovable.
Have you?
Yeah.
So I had a couple questions this week. I had somebody ask me the same question twice. Like, how do I created all of this stuff in Lovable. What's the best way for me to get it to work in non-technical? And I know, Heather, you've spent the most amount, well, I know that you spent a lot of time in Lovable and you love that. So what would you say are some of the reasons people would leave it in Lovable and turn it on and get it hosted there versus just put it in, recreate it in their Go High Level, for instance, in like a funnel? Do you have a thing that helps you decide why you'd use what where?
No, so there's static websites and then there's ones that actually do stuff. So the case where you'd want it hosted on Lovable is the case where you have like the authentication, like the login and registration, and then some sort of data storage because Go High Level just isn't capable of that. So that's where but if it's just a static website where you can do the design, now it will take a little bit of advanced Go High Level template usage to be able to exactly copy. And I have a VA. A lot of his little tricks is just to copy over the CSS and some of the code because he doesn't want to rebuild it and go high level, which is I guess the lazy way to do it. So if you can always like just do the little inspect tool and grab some code, but you kind of have to know what you're doing with that.
Yeah, I do that in certain sections. Like if I have a section that's like, "Oh, that's a pretty design," I'll use the code. But if it's like a form or a button, I'll do that like in the Go High Level build with the button, because then it's much easier to edit and get it to work. I feel like it's a lot more stable. But it is fun to have the code for like the design elements, like maybe the header and the footer, or the middle piece that people use. I don't know the proper terms for those sections on the website, but I found that that's kind of a fun way to do it. And it's, an interesting way to
So
play around and be a little bit more creative.
I've been
there's a
having
prime
fun.
example for 5.0.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, Will, but you can take go into Lovable, build your block, take the block, put it back into 5.0, and say, I'm trying to use this thing, go high level. I need a button. The button needs to be this. It needs to attach to this. And it will rewrite that code for you to then turn around and put back into go high level.
Yeah, I've done that with the embed code from Go High Level, from a Go High Level form or survey. Like I've used the embed code, but if I need to change something, then it like totally redesigns the whole darn thing. And I'm like, no, 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 no. So I feel like the design stays a little bit more stable, at least in my experience in doing that. If I just leave the but don't try to use the embed code at all in Lovable or GenSpark or anywhere else, and I just leave the button as a go high level button. But that's just me. You
But
guys
that's what I was getting at. You
much better at it.
5.0 will add the button
Mm-hmm.
on top of the information you get from everything else. So you have the native button on top of your CSS code from the Lovable or GenSpark, wherever you're pulling it from.
So, and just one more thing, because I've had this question twice, and other people are probably having the same experience. Is when even though my prompt says I'm using this in Go High Level, use design elements to the highest you can use for me to have this work and go high level. And then I say optimize it for web and optimize it for mobile interface. It still like kind of sucks. So, it does, like, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then I'm like, forget it. But I don't know if anybody has any tricks, but that is something that I was asked by two other people this week. So I don't know if you Funnel Gurus website people here have a better answer than that, because I'm stuck.
I build two complete sites. So
Mm.
I take the one site and then I have it rewrite it for mobile because a lot of the CSS code will not intermingle between the two.
Right. Right.
So you set the visibility to one to your desktop, set the visibility to the other for your mobile, and you literally wrote the code twice.
Oh, boom. Hashtag
Uh,
handled.
Especially if you're doing like Garnet, Granite, whatever it is, the text where it flows in colors and stuff like that. When you take the same code from desktop and put it on a mobile, nothing will show up on the screen on the mobile.
Mm.
The colors show up awesome, but all your text, all your everything else goes away. So
Yeah.
you have to rewrite it for mobile on that.
That's why I love Gemini. Haven't had that problem at all with with anything that I give it. It just codes it perfectly fine. I find myself using the AI Studio, AI Google Studio a lot
Mm.
more. Because you still have like the million tokens of like conversation there, and if anything, you just restart again the conversation. You have another million there, and like I swear I live by it because have not have problems at all. I ask it to build the full section and then I just embed it into the website, and it's nice and what do you call it? It resizes perfectly fine. It's very
Mm.
responsive. So definitely recommend Gemini again. I feel like
Where's your affiliate link, Kristen?
yeah, I need a Google Workspace affiliate link at this point because I keep
Yeah, for
saying
real.
Change your middle name to get Gemini. You talk about
Yes.
it.
Yes.
hey
We're
hey
gonna
I,
do
I
Gold Gemini.
I started, I scrolled through Reddit just to see what people are talking about when it comes to this stuff, and I found this meme. You know the meme of the guy with the girlfriend and looks back, and then there's
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
okay. So that was the meme that I saw yesterday, and I couldn't stop laughing at it because I'm like, this feels like me. It feels like I have ChatGPT always open, but then the one that truly has my heart is right now is Gemini because I keep going back to that one.
Well, there's so many goodies in that AI studio. Like there's
Yeah.
so many like hidden gems in there. Maybe that's what we should show next week. Like the studio.
Yeah, same thing with the port not the portal playground for OpenAI. You can do. I feel like that one it's a lot more keen when it comes to like the actual models, and I think you get better results back there. But like obviously, like to go back there and like understand that entire thing is a lot more technical. Um, but yeah, again, I'll right now so far the one that has completely and I have all of them Grok, Claude. I keep going back to Gemini.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, now I'm gonna have to try that because I've had consistent issues with sizing.
Have you been able to get the MCPs to work yet on Gemini for Go High Level?
Say that one more time.
Have you been able to get the MCPs to work with Gemini to Go High Level yet?
No, no, I haven't. I haven't really tried it yet. I haven't really connected Gemini to anything outside. I just keep going back to using it like on its own. I do use it for like in Zapier or Make an N8N, but have not used it in the MCPs with the MCPs yet.
And that's the reason why I've been using Claude Code is I can still connect the two direct together. So I've been using Gemini more to go out and edit. So I take the
Mhm.
stuff from 5.0, put it into Gemini, get my edits, take the edits and drop back into the Claude Code to run.
Yeah, what's fun with all these models is like at the end of the day they're all tools, so they all
Mhm.
have their specialties. The point is to like get the most juice out of each one and utilize them. But yeah, so far my workflow is I start the deep research on Gemini for anything any topic. Then I bring it to Notebook LM. In Notebook LM, I piece it out as much as I can, and then I take it to Claude for like writing. And then Grok is for more like scraping like for information on socials and things like that. I think it does a pretty good job on that. So I use them for very specific things, and all of them have the exact same projects. So everything that I have in between them, I create a project, and then I upload all the information from each, so it has enough context to be used.
Mr. Google, have you used Opal yet?
No, not yet. I feel like if I sit down in one of these tools, I have to be there for like 6 hours straight, and like I don't
Yeah.
have that luxury right now.
No.
So
Or like a weekend. Like
yeah.
it'd be cool to just dive into one of these things super deep.
Is the projects in Gemini similar to ChatGPT? Is it the same kind of thing where you can train it or whatever, or is it different? Is it same name, different thing in Gemini?
So Gemini that don't have projects, but the content. I mean, I find that the context window is so large that like it doesn't
It
really
doesn't
matter.
matter. You don't have
No,
to like put it in a silo. Okay,
no, not at all.
cool.
Yeah, I just rename the chats and just pin them depending on what I'm using them for, and
Hmm.
then if I don't want to use them again, I don't want to continue to use them. I just unpin them and keep going.
Hmm.
But every chat is individual, so that's why I also like it a little bit because I can have like a specific conversation about X topic, and then if I wanted to refer to another chat, then I ask it to do so. But each conversation is on its own with Gemini. At least that's what I find, which I like to kind of like. Okay, I need a new start, then I prompt whatever I need to prompt.
But Tracy, you could maybe recreate a project like experience in Notebook LM.
Hmm.
Hmm. I started to play with it, and I mean, I originally like last September, I did the podcast when they were releasing. Like you would give it something, and it would create the podcast,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? So that's I mean, and then we were talking about it, I don't know, about a month or two ago. So I started playing with it. Then it just made this map and this, and I was like, okay, you're
The
hurting my
mind map.
brain. This is too much for me. I'm out. And I
Well, the
wanted
mind
it to.
map, the study guide,
I was like,
the
oh
you
my
can call
gosh.
in, you can ask questions to the podcast. It's pretty
Oh my
cool.
gosh. I
Well,
was like,
now they pushed a new update that you can actually generate a video,
oh
Hmm.
no.
and then the voiceover is the podcast presenter.
It takes
So
a long time to generate that. At least for me, it did. I tried it 2 or 3 times and it was taking forever to generate the video.
yeah, I think depends on how many resources you give it, of course,
Oh,
because it's
that's
gonna
true.
check all of them.
Hmm.
But what I do is like I do one deep research with Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then I use that, and then what I do is like I create depending on my questions right that come up, I create new documents and then put them as resource as well, just like different I guess you could say um, extracts of that research, and then that's what I ask it to do the the video about. Like today, I had an entire class with my team. It was a 6 minute video where I was like, guys, I'm about to present to you. And then I just played the video and they were like, how did you even do this? And then I just presented like an entire topic of running ads. But the point is that like it took me about 50 minutes to really generate this because it took about 7 minutes to generate the video. Um, and I read through the entire deep research. And I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I want to definitely use this to present it.
We'll have to do one for Alex Hormozzi's $100 million money model.
Yep, that is true.
Definitely.
Once I get my apparently my packages on the way. Once I get the all the playbooks, I'm gonna be like putting them in there.
Yeah.
Do we know what he ended up at? Because he was like, the last I paid attention, he was at the 80 million or something.
Like 83 million.
That's a good weekend.
And I mean, did you see how much he spent on ads? Well, what if your client spent that much on ads a day? Like
that would be crazy.
It was like
I thought he spent like 3 million or something on ads.
Just Facebook ads alone daily, I think was like 250,000 just Facebook, not including all the other platforms and ads. Plus it was something like 400,000 a day in ads. Crazy.
And I still never saw one.
Really?
Oh, I saw a ton, but I follow him.
YouTube was covered with him. It's like, all right, enough. YouTube ads are so annoying. I want to pay. I'm like, do I pay for it? But I like kind of seeing them. I like kind of seeing them just to see. I mean, gosh, Pace follows me all around YouTube. But like this idea of like, because you know what? When you shut off all the ads, you don't see really what's going on. And so that's why. But, you know, sometimes I'll be listening to something or like a meditation and then the ad will pop up. Like I'm in like finally hit that level. Like you're at the bottom step. Breathe. Like, and then, you know, there's Alex Hormozzi. I'm like, damn it. That defeated the purpose. So anyway.
Well, I agree. That is frustrating. So my brother has been telling me for years, just pay for it. And I'm like, I just can't. And then I just got so annoyed watching the longer videos. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to do it. And now I'm like, I would never not have no ads.
I feel like that for Hulu.
If you just use ad blockers, you remove the ads.
True. Well, what do you think about, and this is maybe a little off topic, but don't you, I mean, Alex Hormozzi did it on YouTube. Why? Because YouTube wasn't going to crash. Mm-hmm. It's used to this. It's made for this. And so how smart, right? Because usually there's people and they sign up and it's through Zoom or it's through this, or even Barry Baumgartner she's the one who did Pace's squat ups, right? Mm-hmm. She's done Russell's and Tony Robbins and stuff. But like her and her husband created a system to be able to control who's in and who's out and all that kind of stuff. Grant Cardone, all those things. He just went straight to YouTube. So then I noticed like Pace went that weekend, he had Sarah Pichu on and he went straight to YouTube. Like it was, I'm going live and he went straight to YouTube instead of a Zoom. And I was like, but that was like such an easy decision and smart decision. But I don't know. I know myself, I complicate things, right? Like, but Alex Hormozzi just went straight to, I'm going live again, 9 hours later, again, like.
He's used to do that too. He chooses whenever he goes live to YouTube. So the Sarah Pica one was the creative podcast that he does. So that goes straight to it. And then he also does it if he wants to really get eyeballs on something. So like his 12-hour lives, he's done those to YouTube.
Wow. I mean, it was just so smart. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, how's he going to handle all these people? And I was like, oh my gosh, so smart.
He thought through. So if you think about his funnel system, it's very like, it seems really simple what he does on the surface. Like he always wears like the same basic clothes. His copy seems basic, but it's direct. His funnels are not fancy at all. His, his text messages are just kind of like to the point. And the directness of it all, I think is impressive because he can articulate exactly what he means. And you're not like, oh, he just said a bunch of fancy stuff. What does that actually mean? Right? So I think him being basic in all of those ways but then really brilliant because he's like emotionally resonant with, he knows who his audience is, and he gets people to freaking buy. So that's why I didn't watch it, because of 1,000,000%, everything he was selling, I would have been like, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy this.
Mm-hmm.
So and he's it's like, I don't know, it's just brilliant to watch. And it's, it's not my style to be like Alex or Mosey, but it's nice to take it as like a swipe file or for inspiration and be like, how can I make this my own? Kind of like copy that infrastructure, that template, because I think it's super powerful and it's super exciting. But
Well, and
that's
he
my
also, I mean, he's the history there is that he went with Russell Brunson. And if you like all of his drawings and stuff, that's all very Russell Brunson original, right? There was like this group of them that started in like, I don't know, 2016 or something that are still with Russell. Alex isn't, I don't think, but they all, Russell and Stephen Larson built all their funnels. Like if it wasn't working, they would sit down. That was part of what they paid for in their mastermind or with, oh my gosh, I'm losing track of, but the like their group. And so a lot of them are still in there, but people, you can see the same imprint is, I guess, that point. And we've kind of gotten fancier and the tools are fancier and the tricks are fancier and all these tricks. But when you go back down to like this very clear, concise, direct message without all the fluff, right? Because he's one of those ones that like always talk at like third, fourth grade language. Keep it simple, like just and even in everything he was doing, it's very, very straightforward. Like you said, April, it's very clear. Like there's not any confusion. And he did the same typical. Like how many times did he go through the stack? How many times did he go through the stack? And okay, this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for this, and then and you get this, and that is so like a Russell Brunson. So I again, as much as successful as he is, he's back to what actually works way back when. Maybe we're gone through the cycle, right? That stuff works again. I don't know, but it was fascinating to kind of. I
it
didn't
is
watch because I always throw my money,
me.
and I'm
Yeah,
like, stop
same.
it, don't do it. I am like, somebody take my money. Everybody take my money. So anyway, I didn't watch it. I watched a little bit, enough to say that I was there, and then that was enough. So anyway,
Yeah, well, I think his so he you make a good point because he does speak, at a fifth grade level, but also when he does that, you can also still see how smart he is, which I think is fascinating.
mhm. Well, and his wife. I think some of the criticism. Did you all see online where like the memes, like declared safe from buying 200 books or donating? Like I was like, or whatever. There was some commentary too about like the lack of women on the thing. So there was some complaining about that or whatever. And like, I mean, the reality is he's showing you the whole play. When I decided to do my candy stores, I was like, maybe I'll make enough money that Alex Hermosi will like invest. That was like when I originally came up with this idea of like coming and doing 10 and da da da. Like that was, I wanted to hit 3 to 5 million for revenue so that Alex Hermosi would pay attention and he'd be like, because he likes dessert. And I was like, he's my kind of guy. So
He likes candy.
yeah, he does. He likes candy, he likes dessert. I mean, he's also, a lifting bro, but there you are. So, but anyway, but he's very smart. And again, I don't know. I think it's very fascinating to see how the patterns repeat of and the influence of certain people on people. Like you could see some parts of Russell Bunson completely in his presentation and how he did things, but that and who he learned it from. And so I think that's true with whatever we're doing with AI. There's like an imprint, right, of where we learn the thing, how we learn the thing, and how we move forward. It's all we're like this, I don't know, beautiful like painting of all these influences that come through. So anyway, I just thought it was really cool. Business is beautiful, I think. I love it. Forget about that the psychological warfare of the whole thing.
You have your semester coming out tomorrow, right?
I do. I start tomorrow. I couldn't even see it on Discord. And when I looked at the list, I was like, why am I the only one starting? They originally wanted me to start on the 15th. I was like, okay, I'm traveling. No. They're like, okay, do it the next Friday. I was like, okay. So I don't think they've even announced it. I said to them, I'm like, did anybody even sign up? Are we going to be talking to ourselves? What's happening? And they're like, oh yeah, it's in there, but no comments. So I finally was able. I did log out of Discord. I almost texted you today, Heather, to be like, I don't understand what's happening. I can't even see it. They're like, we made you a moderator. Like I can't see anything. So I logged out, logged back in. Voila, magic, all of it there. No comments, but there. So, and so I just made 2 posts about it. They said, oh, we're going to post later about it, and I'm like, okay. I mean,
I mean, it's tomorrow, so they better get on it.
That's why I was like, are we gonna, like, is this even a thing? They're like, oh yeah, we're good. But I know Ashley's moving. Sarabi took over. Taya, I was like, okay, I'm not really sure and then it's like they were pushing like to start. And I was like, when I saw everybody else's dates, I'm like, how come everybody else had a month to plan? But okay, we're gonna do it. It's just gonna be imperfect, which is my specialty. So imperfect forward motion. We just do it, figure it out. I'm gonna have to wrangle Pat, get him in there, settle him down.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it should be
Sweet.
fun. Hopefully
He's
it'll be
so
fun.
excited. Well, ours, so Will, April, and I are doing one, and
Mhm.
it's starting September 8th. So we
Yeah,
have a little bit of time to prepare. But it's going to be on AI automations and systems.
that makes sense. Which I think maybe that's why they were pushing us to do it because it's about business improvements, which would dovetail into exactly what you guys are doing. But except you guys are doing all communities, and we're just doing some too. So I don't know. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know all my pitfalls and all the mistakes we made. So
Yes, please do.
yes, they said that's what Saravi said. She goes, well, it's all kind of new, so we'll make some mistakes, but it'll be okay. I'm like, okay, sure. Why not? Let's just do it. So hopefully it'll be, I'm like, after this, I'm going to sit down and write up kind of like the flow because there's a lot of links you have to share and a lot of, for us, all the tools and like we have to do all that. So anyway, I'm going to prepare it. But yeah, it's not like again, AI probably could do it, but I don't know how it's going to take longer to learn to figure out how to have AI do it. But so I'm just going to sit up and do it and finish. So.
Do you have a project dedicated for your semester?
I don't, but I've been utilizing my advisory group because I have an advisory group of 20, like Pace is one, Sarah Blakely is one. So I did deep research on all of them, put them all in. So, like, I hired an integrator this week for the candy stores, and she just kind of had applied random for something else, and so we started talking, whatever. And so I was asking, so I use the advisory, it's like my C-suite of my direct board of directors, basically. And so like, and they all give me from their perspective what I should do, and they were all like, don't nickel and dime it, go for it. This is your who, not how, Tracy, go. And I was like, okay, because I was nervous. Because like hiring somebody I never hire full time because they can leave and then you're screwed. Um, and so, and I had a bad week with staff. Like I had to have someone arrested. It was like one of those, yeah, it's just a long week. So that's staffing. So I was like, okay, are you sure? And they're like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. So I use it for that. So I use same board of directors, like, okay, I'm doing this semester. Like, this is what it's about. This is what I'm doing. And I have a different one, a different project on Exitable, which is the business consulting one. So kind of like the compilation. But that's why I like that they refer to each other. Like, like Will likes everything individual, but I like that it's remembering. It's like my BFF is learning all about me and like shoving back information for me. And I'm
I
taking
like that too, because I can just go in there and say, hey, chat, give me a motivational social media post, because you know what I have going on.
yes, exactly. And then it will do it. Or like, hey, and I did build a project based on Ashley's, what was it? What did she call it? The
Magnetic
method.
blueprint.
Magnetic blueprint.
Yes, I did that. And so that's what I did for all the classes. I just plopped it in there and it popped it out for me. And I was like, done. I mean, I know the stories and it's my life, so it's easy to talk about. But I was like, done, done, and done. So yeah, so I like that piece. You know what it reminds me of? I'm going to be geeky about it, but like, um, I try to I like it like the Remembrall in Harry Potter. If anyone likes Harry Potter,
Yeah, I
Dumbledore
like Harry
takes the
Potter.
thing and puts it, and it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I like that, and I'm using for my. I have a Claire, the COO, because I'm building assets for like because I want to understand how this all works for a COO. Anyway, long story short, I just dump what I'm doing, and it's collecting and organizing, so that will have a repeatable playbook. So anyway, those are my little things that I'm doing. But anyway, but if it wasn't listening to other ones, then it wouldn't be as effective for me. So I have to think about how I want to. Don't let the other ones know what we're talking about in here. This is our private conversation. Anyway, so yeah, so wish me luck
Yes,
that it
good
goes
luck.
well. Thank you. Well, it's the best time to own a business with AI. Like so much can be easier, you know?
Agreed.
You know? So anyway, but
Worst case candy.
Well,
Worst thing is you can just give candy out to your class.
I
yeah.
virtually
No, you could say, didn't you have a thing to get free piece of candy
yeah,
or
free
something?
candy. Yep. Yes. So I can if you log in, I'll send you candy. I want to change like you know how they have like the emojis at the bottom that and it makes it rain them? I want them to be candy. I don't know if we can program that,
There's
but
a confetti one.
they do have the confetti one. They do. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's scary but exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I want to replace. I'm just going to say I'm going to be the first one to have candy stores with robots, so I don't have to deal with my staff. We're going to say that right now. I said just at the policeman I was talking to him. I was like, let me tell you something. The minute that I can have a robot that has curly hair with my little face on it, or even it's a video, I don't care. That can just weigh them as they come in and weigh them as they go. I don't at this point. But like even just from the she was stealing obviously coming in after hours and taking the deposits and the cash. But the new locations don't have any. I found on the cameras, but the new locations don't do any cash, and it's a very weird feeling. It's like another again in a very simplistic way. Like cancer is pretty simple, but like this step forward of just credit, this cashlessness, right? In a brick and mortar, which is a weird thing. Um, so it feels like, personally, it feels weird to not have that feature, right? Convenience. There's perks, obviously, as an owner. But the flip side of that is like when it's time, they just shut the lights out and we're done. Nobody's counting anything. Nobody's counting it wrong. Nobody's taking anything. We're not running out of change. Like all of those things that I paid for, a decade or two. So that's a very weird thing, but it's definitely tied in with this whole AI thing, right? Of like virtual digital world.
Future of work.
Yeah. And trackable. It's all, I mean, you know, so anywho, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, well, thanks for asking, guys. Thanks for your good wishes. I wish you guys well too in a couple weeks, and I'll keep you posted.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
excited and nervous. I don't know about you guys. Like, it's exciting, but then it's like also a big responsibility because it's all communities. And so, but it'll be fun.
Especially being all communities.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is that more scary? Why?
Just more feedback, I guess. Maybe, because we're not going to please people always just have opinions maybe.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and she said that during the training, like, there's going to be people who will whatever. And I'm really not worried about that per se, but it's just, I don't know, it's visible.
Yeah.
It's highly visible,
movie
I think
which
stuff.
is
we have
good.
so many experts at what we do already that they're definitely going to have opinions, and we should just like walk in expecting that.
It's okay. Raise your hand and teach one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm exposing like all my failures. I'm just teaching from my failures and my, my cautionary tale, right? So like I'm nervous from that perspective, and I do feel responsible that Pace gave me this opportunity. So, and I don't want to screw it up, and I don't want to
Yeah.
let him down. And I'm bringing my two friends with me, and I don't want them to feel like, So it's a lot of pressure. Um, but the flip side of that is it's kind of it's my cautionary tale to the world of like the mistakes I made in 18 years and about what you should do instead. And it helps with my Everest, so I'm grateful. But I'm trying not to think about it. So, and you know, some people are not going to like you, and that's okay. And
Yeah.
it's bad karma to not like the candy lady, so that's kind of what I'm going with. So anyway, well, people take it or leave it.
That's it.
So, all right. Well, another AI hotline probably in the books. It's 9 o'clock almost.
Yeah.
We did it again. Woohoo for us.
We did. Come back next week. Come see our office hours
Mm-hmm.
at
It was
11
such a
a.m. on
good one
Thursday.
today. You missed it if
Get
you
your
didn't come.
Discord. Get in Discord so you can sign up for semesters if you're in the community.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you come to on a special day, if you come to the hotline or our office hours, you wind up being the only special guest, and we spend the whole hour talking about you. So
It's
it's
the
another
platinum
reason for
package.
that. I like that, the platinum package. Excellent.
Yes.
And we got to get Will's brilliant strategy of the fast pass and like the clear and most direct path to success. We had that today. You missed it. If you missed
It's only
it,
in office hours.
that's right. You should come back.
OC office hours.
Uh-huh. That's right. Exactly. Well, thank you guys. Nice to see everybody. Thank you everybody for watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do it all again next week.